Hello, and welcome back to my channel consisting of a very inconsistent upload schedule. My name is Mira Scarlett, and today I am going to show you how I made my Saruei cosplay. Saruei is a VTuber on Twitch. She's also an artist and someone whose streams I've been enjoying watching a lot lately. So I got really inspired to make her cute little Neko outfit. I also chose this because I'm on an extremely tight budget and I'm using materials that I already have on hand to work with. And I just so happen to have everything I would need for this project. And yeah, so I decided to make it. So yeah, let me show you how I did it. So like I said, I made this cosplay on an extremely tight budget. So I used the lining from this thrifted curtain and fabrics I already had on hand to create this whole look. Since the fabric was so flimsy, I used fleece as an underlining to give it more structure. For the lining, I used this red stretch vinyl I had for my Christmas Ray that I made back in 2020. And yes, with the fleece underlining and the red vinyl lining, this thing was warm as hell. Once I basted on the fleece underlining to my fashion fabric, which is that curtain lining, I started adding the black stripe details onto the sleeves. To make the cuffs, I basically did the same thing as the sleeves, fleece underlining and black strips sewn on. Then I top stitched it to create the illusion of ribbed fabric. I used these disappearing ink pens from Madame Sews to mark my top stitching, but I realized I could do this a lot more quickly by just adding some painter's tape on my machine to mark the distance between each ribbing accurately. I gave them a good press, sewed up the sides, serged the tops, and bam, the cuffs were done. I moved onward to top stitching the hoodie and adding the stripes onto that. The way this thing frays looks like an absolute monster, but nothing a quick serge couldn't fix. Onward to attaching the sleeves. I had to go slow because it was thick. To make the stripes from the sleeves flow onto the shoulders, I sewed it up like this. Then I top stitched around the arm side, and that completed the main shell of the hoodie. I also sewed up the vinyl lining, but I am going to add the pockets before actually attaching it. And here are the pockets. They are already lined, and I just sewed them onto the hoodie like so. Afterwards, I sewed the lining to the hoodie at the hem and the hood. This whole project was done on live stream, so it's filmed very sporadically and out of order, so I do apologize. But this is how I added the ribbed part to the bottom of the hoodie. I don't even know how to properly explain it, but more top stitching! The only separating zipper that I had on hand was this khaki colored parka one, so it was just gonna have to do. Other than the patches, the hoodie was done at this point, so I moved on to making the crop top. I used a bodice pattern I drafted for my Halloween Miku cosplay that I never finished. This is my mock-up, which went through several stages of alterations. Once I was happy with the fit, I took apart the mock-up to get my pattern pieces, transferred them to my final fabric, and then added the heart cutout detail to the center front. I satin stitched around it using construction paper of my stabilizer, which actually worked surprisingly well. I cut close to the stitching using my applique scissors from Saruei. I freaking love cutouts like this. I sewed the rest of the top together and added bias tape around the top that would eventually become the straps. I then hemmed the bottom and the crop top was complete. Now moving onward to the shorts. I altered a Yaya Han shorts pattern and cut it out of the same red vinyl I used for the hoodie lining. I used the lightning bolt stitch on my machine instead of a small zigzag stitch like I used to use often because I learned that having an upward and downward motion for the zigzag versus then one that is directly side to side really does help reduce puckering while you're sewing. So I sewed up the shorts and I added on the waistband. Here's how they fit after further alterations. Quite flattering if I do say so myself. All that was left of the shorts was adding the black stripes at the bottom and a fake tie at the top, and then they were complete. The final stage of completing the hoodie were completing the custom patches. I used my brother's Scan and Cut to cut the designs I made in Procreate onto heat transfer vinyl. Look how cute they are and so shiny. I then pressed the vinyl onto felt and carefully cut around them, leaving maybe, is this like 1/4 of an inch? Probably like 1/8 of an inch trim around it. Once all the patches had been made, I pinned all the patches on their proper placements on the hoodie and then proceeded to hand sew on each of them with a whip stitch, making sure that I did not go through the vinyl lining. I then remembered that little bow detail that Saruei's hoodie has, so I quickly threw that together using my previous knowledge of bow making from Sparkle Pipsy's Sailor Fuku tutorial from forever ago. So while the main costume was finished at this point, I still had to make the ears, the tail, the hair clip, and style the wig, all of which are probably my least favorite things to do. There's just something about the last minute accessories and stuff of a cosplay. I just hate putting it together. I like patterning, I like cutting, I like sewing up the main garment, but last minute details are just like the bane of my existence. I used Vtuber Cosplay's ear tutorial to make the cat ears, which I highly recommend watching because I struggled a lot with this. I heat-shaped Warbler into an ear shape, cut out the faux fur, and then sewed it up. Trimmed down the seam allowance to reduce bulk, turned them right side out, then fit them onto the Warbler and sewed it at the bottom to secure it around the Warbler. I ended up dyeing the ears along with my wig using a liquid pearl gray Rit dye so that they would match. I made the tail by cutting out a long tube of fur and sewing it together, trimmed down the seam allowance, turned right side out, and stuffed it with fleece and wire because I had no polyfill, which is what I usually use. I actually learned this fleece and wire trick from a Yumi King video. I also didn't get any pictures of making the hair clip, but I literally just cut it out of Ava foam, sprayed it with a few layers of Plastidip, and glued bobby pins onto the back. I made her a little mouse toy as well, but I filmed it like in a TikTok style versus wide for like YouTube videos, so here's that. And with that, the costume was complete. So once again, I didn't film anything in Once again, I did not film anything in widescreen for a YouTube video, so I'm just gonna share a few little videos that I took on my phone as well as photos that I did here at home in my little home studio. So yeah, here's my Saruei cosplay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the construction process and all that good stuff. If you would like to subscribe to the channel and keep updated with future uploads, I'm going to try to be more consistent. We'll see what happens. You can also click that bell notification so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. If you want to follow me on other socials, I am Mira Scarlet Cosplay basically everywhere. You can also check out my website, mirascarletcosplay.com, to see my portfolio, all my videos, all that fun stuff. So the support really does mean a lot. And if you want to catch me outside of YouTube, I actually stream every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time over on Twitch. My current schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, but sometimes I put in a little extra random streams here and there. You can also join our Discord, which is a great place to get to know our community and stay updated with everything that I've got going on. So yeah, thanks again. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a great day and are feeling inspired and crafty. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye.